Welcome to my stream. I am going to stream again today about the roguelike stuff that we've been working on for the past however many months. There was one request to make my audio a little bit lower, so I'm trying it a little bit lower this time. Let's see how this goes. I mean, the music, apparently the music can be distracting, and I don't mean for it to be. Let me switch over. So hopefully it's better now. We'll find out. All right, so what did we do yesterday? We can check the git log. So this was yesterday, all of this, starting here. So we moved the spawn table to JSON. We added some error checking. And this was a little thing we did internally that was outside of the tutorial to just clean up some error messages we were seeing on the console. And then we refactored the map stuff again. This was the second refactor. So now map has its own module so that we could add tile types. And now we have towns. So you can see we have this town region here. I can walk around town. All this is gray, which is a little unfortunate that to make that a gray level, it should be. The reason it's, you see how this is green, this is showing up what color it is because it's in my visual range. This is all in my visual range too, but because it's gray, it looks just like the same grays as the stuff that's not in my visual range, so it's a little unfortunate for that. The other weird thing is that these are showing up as commas. So there might be something going on with the tiles, the images for each of the characters in the CP437 built-in code they have in the Roguelike toolkit, because these should be showing up as little waves. And if we look at the example, it's hard to see, but those are little waves instead. Maybe if I make those tildes, maybe it would look better. I don't know. And then I couldn't figure out what character this was. This was the gravel character, which was not introduced anywhere, so we had to kind of work that out on our own, and I just threw in the colon character to represent gravel. There might be a better one. And then we made the roads an exclamation point, but here on this display we can see the roads are sort of dash character, and it's hard to zoom in on this. So we're gonna get going with adding buildings. All right, so we should be clean. Good. And oh, I forgot to pop open my little chat window here. Hang on. I knew there was something missing. There we go. Okay. So let's dig right in. A town without building is both rather pointless and rather unusual, so let's add some. We'll add another call to the builder function, this time passing in the available building tiles, right? That's what we were using before. If we look up here, we can see that they're not being used yet, and wall gap Y is not being used either. But we'll figure that out in the next thing. Okay. We're still not using the wall gap Y, but we got the building stuff going, so let's do that. And this, I've forgotten what file it's in. It's in one of the maps. There's a town file somewhere along the lines. Source something town. Yeah, map builders. Okay. We have the grass layer, we have the water layer, we set the available building tiles and wall gap here. So now we're going to say buildings, and self buildings. And we're going to pass in the random number generator, the build data, and the hash set of available tiles. All right, so let's write it. Oh, this is a long function. Yikes. All right, let's start at the top. FN buildings. random number generator. Build data is a builder map. Oh, hi Modprog, how are you? I have a lot of channel point things? Yeah, I guess I don't use them for anything. Available building tiles is a hash set of view size. We should make that a type, right? And oh, it returns a vec of a four-way vec. Sorry, a vec of four-way tuples. Okay, so let's put this here and then say let mod buildings. Okay, so this is our vec of four-way. Now why this instead of rect, for example? Because we have a rect structure. Isn't this just going to generate the building locations? And we're going to generate 12 buildings. Yeah, BX is RNG roll dice 1 build data map width -32 plus 30. And let BY is roll dice 1 to build data map height -2 for whatever reason. I understand where the 30 is coming from because we had a 30 yesterday with the start of town. But why aren't we using the available building tiles to generate a location? And then we get the width 1 to 8 plus 4, and then the height is the same exact thing. Set possible to true, so we're setting it to false here. Yeah, this is one of those cases where we want to do a break. Okay, I was just looking for that. So we can say done for y in by to by plus bh. I like spaces around my operators, and then for x in bx to bx plus bw if x is less than 0. -1, then possible equals false, break done. Okay, and then once we've done that, we don't need to do an else. So we can just say let idx is build data map xy idx. Oh, and then we have another possible. It's false and break. Okay. Yeah, so this would be cleaner if we could modify this to return an option IDX. There we go. Hello, Quaker. How are you? All right, so then we say if possible. Yeah, again, I'm wondering why we're not just using the rect structure we already have. And then for y and by plus bh, for x, bx. And then we're going to set, we're going to remove each one of the tiles. So we're going to remove the one at index, we're going to remove the one at index +1, index plus width, which is the one below us, index -1, which is to the left of us, and then index minus width, which is the one above us. So removing a plus-shaped, a plus-shaped version of a chunk of tiles. So I guess this gives us a little bit of a border around the building, so buildings aren't pushed up against each other. That's my guess. So we can do IDX IDX +1 plus width -1 minus width. Okay, and then we say build data take snapshot. But we're not changing the map, so I'm not sure what the snapshot's going to look like. Right? So this is +1, and this is -1, and this is a plus build data width as usize, and this will be minus that. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think this, because it's because of this. I missed that line. That's why. Okay, that makes more sense now. Build data map tiles IDX is tile type wood floor. There we go. I'm not a fan of this particular tune. What is this one? Main gauche. I'm going to remove this one from the playlist and skip to the next track. There we go. Yes, we are making buildings today, Quaker. So yesterday we managed to outline the town. This is a town region here. There's water over here and grass over here. And this is the whole town region, this little area that's walled off by these vertical or these double lines. And we're going to start placing buildings. That's what we're trying to do here with this code. And then we're going to outline the buildings. Okay. Oh, okay. Then we're going to go from 2 to the height -2 and 32 to the width -2. That's interesting. Why 32? All right. Let's find out when we get there. For y in 2 to build data height -2. Okay, so we're doing the full height and the full width of the town. Let IDX is build data map XY IDX. It'd be really neat if we had a little from to conversion trait, wouldn't it? Build data map tiles IDX. So we don't have to type this build data map XY thing all the time. Tile type wood floor. Let mut neighbors 0. All right, so we're going to just count how many. This is interesting. So we're looking around us. So this is looking left to the right. This is looking up, and this is looking down, the minus and the plus. And it's just saying if the thing is not a wood floor, then increment neighbors. And then if neighbors is greater than 0, so if any one of these is true, then just set the clone of the map to a wall. And then we're going to reset the build data to this. So why go through all that hassle with the extra variable? Just check. We can just say if build data map tiles IDX -1 is not equal to tile type wood floor, or right IDX +1 is not wood floor, or IDX minus build data width as usize, or plus. Then we're going to set map clone tiles IDX is tile type wall. I think that's more clear than what they've got. So we're going to go with that. And then we need to set over here, after we're done with that for loop, we're going to set build data map is the clone, build data take snapshot, and then we're going to return the buildings. So I think we've got it. So it's going to look kind of like this, although it looks like this is interesting. And we don't have entrances to these buildings, but that's all right. So let's see if this checks. I missed a closing brace somewhere. Oh, all of these. Oh, I missed this one here, and I missed this one here. I must have accidentally deleted it. Okay. And now, available tiles, available building tiles. And then this here, map clone. What doesn't it like? Cannot find map clone. Oh, because I spelled it wrong. Okay. Oh, and it should be not equal. Right, and all of these are not equal. Yes, okay. All right, so let's generate the WASM for this. And see if we get buildings showing up. Yeah, we're still not using wall gap, and we're not using the actual building. But we'll get there, because we're going to add some doors pretty soon. All right, let's hit refresh. You can see the buildings getting carved out of the gravel section. And then they get outlined. And I just used the magic mapping scroll to do it. Ooh, we have a bad outline here because of this. How did all these end up being walls? Okay, so we have a little mistake somewhere in our code. Are there audio issues? I am seeing occasional dropped frames. Hopefully it's not too bad. That would be disappointing if it was bad. All right, let me know if it keeps going. Maybe I'll just restart my stream. But yeah, so we have a bug somewhere. We're filling in everything instead of nothing. Oh wait. Well, let's take a look because it's saying if it's not. These are not wooden floors, right? This is gravel. All right, let's take a look at the code again and compare it to this. So if this is saying if anything is not a wood floor, oh, this should be equal to wood floor. Ah, that's the bug. I made it not equal. There we go. It might be just on your side, or maybe people just are lurking. I don't know. Hopefully it's not too bad. I do see 519 dropped frames on my side. So, all right, let's see if this worked. Grab the scroll and map. Well, this time we ended up outside of town here, so we can't even go in. Okay, so there's still a bug because it's putting floors. Did I forget to save it or something? Oh, what's this doing? That's an old editor. Okay. Let's take another look here. If build data map tiles IDX is a wood floor, then go into here. These are definitely not wood floors, so it shouldn't have hit a wall there. I mean, we saw it build, so let me hit refresh again. Yeah, so these are all the wood floors here. These are gravels. Okay, so it worked this time. I put the downstairs over here. That's funny. It worked this time. I'm very confused. wonder if there's some off by one bug here that we only hit occasionally. Let me hit refresh again. No, it worked that time. Refresh. Do it one more time. No. And this time we spawned in town. That's nice. Okay. Alright, so it seems to be working. Maybe that was a fluke. Or maybe I hit refresh before the WASM finished building. Maybe that was it. I'll chalk it up to that. Okay, so we now can create buildings. So let's get this checked in before we make any more changes. This if statement can be collapsed. Oh yeah, then it gets even more complicated. That's okay. Oh, J. Victor, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Mod Product says, I just opened Pavu control and it was fixed. Okay, well, maybe that did it. Okay, so should we collapse this or no? Right, because this makes sense here where we split it out into, if it's a wood floor, then we can check around. Maybe we split that into a separate function to check around us. Otherwise, Clippy's going to complain every single time. I can always do this. Let's do this for now, and then we can come back to it later. Let's see how that goes. Hi, Just a Bubble. How are you? Okay. So we were able to do that, and we're going to get back to the building in the wall gap pretty soon. Okay, so git add source, git commit creating buildings, and now we'll add doors to buildings. I'm doing very well, thank you. Okay, so we're going to add doors. All right, so here's where we add the wall gap Y, and we use the buildings. Okay, so this is pretty simple. Let's just go over here, throw this at the bottom. The random generator. Build data. Yeah, I don't like this weird vec here. This should be a type or a list of rects or something like that, right? Got this backwards. There we go. And then wall gap Y. And it returns a vec of U size. And okay, let doors back new. Okay, so we're going to find a door X location. CY is building 1 plus building 3 divided by 2. So the left coordinate of the building plus halfway along, and then IDX is CY is greater than door on the north wall. Oh, I see. So it's going to put a door on the north wall or the south wall depending on how far along we are, if it's even or odd. Okay. +1 plus RG roll dice 1 to building 2 -3. Okay. And then let IDX is if CY is greater than. Right, so if it's oh, CY, not CX, CY. Right, so we're seeing if it's above or below the road. I misread that the first time. Data map XY IDX door X building 1. Why is that? If I hit do, oh, it doesn't like do. It highlights that as though it's warning me that Rust doesn't have a do keyword. Or maybe it's a reserved word in Rust. Okay, so this is building.1 for the Y. Oh, okay, so the north wall, or it's going to be on the south wall, because we can take the building's top location and add the bottom and then subtract 1. Okay. Build data map tiles IDX. It's adding a floor to the location we just chose. Oh, I see. And then it's going to, it spawns a door. Oops. When did I miss up? It should be 3 parens, and then doors push IDX, build data, take snapshot. So we should see all the doors that didn't show up, and we're going to return the doors. Like that. Okay, does that check? It doesn't. What am I missing here? It's not coming across as a U size. Really? Oh, I put semicolons here. That's why. Why was it warning me down there instead of warning me that the if statement wasn't setting anything? Oh, I forgot to make that mutable. Okay, fair. All right, so this checks, but now we have more warnings. Let's see what they are when we build the WASM file. I thought we're... Oh, I'm not calling add doors anywhere. Right. Okay. That's why. Let's do that now. So after the buildings, we'll say let doors equals self add doors. RNG build data, the buildings, and the wall gap Y. Okay. Does that check? It does. Now we're down to 2 warnings. Probably because we're not using doors. Yeah. Okay. All right. So refresh, and now we should see the town get built, the walls get put around, a whole bunch of doors appear, and then begin the new game. All right, so now we have doors. It kind of looks weird that the doors, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but you see now there's no, you can't see a door here, but if you come around the front, but you know there's a gap. But you come around the front, and now there's a door and you can walk inside. I can't close the door. We haven't gotten to that code yet. And for some reason here, we decided to put the downstairs case on the door. See, if I move away, there's the downstairs. So we should be smarter about how we choose where the downstairs goes. And right now it's just showing up anywhere on the map, but I think that's just a temporary thing. We'll probably make it outside of town at some point. All right, so we have doors. That seems to all work. If you cargo run now, you'll see doors appear for each building. And I don't see any doors in this map, just those little gaps. So that's funny. Okay. Let's see if Clippy has any complaints. Nope. Okay, so git add source, git commit, create doors for the new buildings. Okay, and then paths to doors. It would be nice to decorate the gravel with some paths to the various doors in town. It makes sense. Even wear and tear from walking to and from buildings will erode a path. So we add another call to the builder function, self add paths, and pass in the doors. Okay. And that's right here. And we'll stick that at the bottom. Uh-oh. Oh, no, that's okay. Not self. Build data. And it doesn't return anything. Okay. So what is this doing? So we're going to have a roads vector. Oh, and then anything that's already a road is going to get a road pushed into that vector. Populate blocked. Okay. And then door point is point new. Okay. Oh, we're finding what's the nearest road to the location of the door we want to attach to. We sort those. And we pick the 0th element, right, which is going to be the one that's closest, and then we'll create an A-star path. Well, we'll create a path using the A-star algorithm to draw a road to that closest road. That's pretty cool. I like that. So the buildings that are close to the main road are going to attach directly to that road, but the other ones are going to, the buildings further away are going to find doors or roads that are to attach to get to that road. Let ID access build data map XY. Okay, so that generates our initial set of roads. Now we'll loop over each door. It's a vec, abuse size, and F32, right, for the distance algorithm. And I'm going to add point up here. Come on. There we go. Bigger than I thought it was. Okay. Point new of door IDX as I32 mod build data map width. And then door IDX as I32 divided by build data map width. Just double checking. Yep. Okay. 4R in roads iter. Push star R and the distance alg. Let me pull that into. Pythagoras squared distance 2D door point and point new R as I32 mod build data width. And this is divided by build data map width. That closes point, that closes distance 2D, that closes the tuple, and that closes the push. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, same as them. And then close that. Let's see, the nearest roads sort by And it's a.1.partial compare of b.1 unwrap. So this is going to sort by the distances, because that's what we're pushing, is the distance from the distance algorithm. And then let destination is the index of the nearest road. Let path is equal to a star search. Got to pull that in. Yep. Okay. A star search of door IDX to destination using build data map. If path.success for step in path steps iter. So we're just going to put a road on every step of the way that the A star search found. And we add that to our set of roads so that the next road might be able to attach to it. And then this. Whoops. Really? Oh, I shifted everything over. Okay. And then we need to take the snapshot. All right. So let's see how this looks. Oh, let's fix it first. What did I do wrong? I probably have a... Oh, here. Build data map tiles IDX. There should be a dot here. Right? What else did I do wrong? Hopefully that was the only one. Yep. Okay. Still no. Alright, what did I mess up? Cannot find build data. Oh. Did I mistype? Oops. Oh. This is why. Look at that. I shifted this all the way over. This should be like this. And this should be like that. And then I mistyped build data. Called it build dat. Okay. There we go. No errors, no warnings. Okay, let's generate the WASM for that. And then refresh our browser. And see what kind of roads get built. And the roads you're going to use this exclamation point. So that's kind of neat. So we are seeing the roads now go to each one. It doesn't, it doesn't matter from a walking point of view, but actually, so it kind of does, because we added something yesterday for the NPC AI, pathfinding AI, to prefer roads over gravel and to prefer roads over grass and water. So they might be more likely to walk on the roads than we would, because I don't think we have any movement costs now for anything. All right, so that's pretty neat. Let's see what the complaints Clippy has. A star search doesn't need a mutable reference. Ah, okay, let's clean that up. Was that something my brain just added without? No, it's there. Okay. Git add source, git commit gem, create pathways to the main road. Good. Okay. And then we have our start position and our exit. We don't really want completely random start positions. nor an exit that is deliberately far away on this map. So we'll edit our town builder constructor to remove the additional meta builders that provide this. All right, so where's our town builder constructor? It's in the file we've been in all along. All right, where's town builder? Oh, it's right here. It just looks funny. Okay. Okay, so we don't put area starting position and distance exit, but now we have to modify our build function to provide these instead. Placing the exit is easy. We want it to be east on the road. Okay, so we're going to take these two out, and then we're going to go to our build function. Which is here, and we're going to say let exit idx build data map xy idx build data dot width -5 wall gap y. So the width -5, so it's 5 in from the left, I'm guessing. Build data map tiles exit idx equal tile type downstairs. Okay. Placing the entrance is more difficult. We want the player to start their journey in the pub, but we haven't decided which building is the pub. We'll make the pub the largest building on the map. After all, it's the most important in the game. For the game, sorry. Following code will sort the buildings by size, with the first tuple element being the building's index and the second being its square tileage. Okay, so we do have the buildings here. So we can just go right here and say let mod building size vec use size in I32 for I, building in buildings iter enumerate building size push I and building dot 2 times building dot 3. So this is the width and the height. That's all it's pushing. Excuse me. And then building size sort by AB. Now that we've started it, we're going to set the pub. So it's getting the largest building this way, and then build data, starting position. The x coordinate is the pub dot 0 plus the pub dot 202, and the y position is just 1 and 3, right? Yep. And that's it for position, that's it for the sum, and we're done. Okay. I did something wrong. No comma there. POSITION. There we go. Oh, I've got to change that to a Y. There we go. We still have 3 warnings though. What's going on? Let's see what they are. Oh, is this, yeah, was that something I forgot to take out? Yeah, I think so. Line 13, yeah. Okay. All right, so let's generate that WASM file. Oh. And now we're not using a random number generator. Okay. But we must, because we have to be pushing it, The town builder needs it, but maybe that only is when we... Okay. Where does town builder get called from? It gets called from here. Something's a little fishy to me now. because at some point the random number generator has to be done. It has to be used to build the rooms and things, right? Oops. So somewhere we call build map. Here's level builder. Level builder equals temp builder or random builder. Maybe I took out too many lines. Let's see. No. So chain with start builder, and it just, All right. Build map. That's all over the place. Okay, so here's where we pass it in. Got it. Okay, so that's on line 160. Yep. Okay. All right. I think I'm good. We got rid of that. We don't need this anymore in here. So let's pull it out, and then source map builders mod town builder no longer needs a random number generator. All right. So this should check. Okay. So what did we do? We added the starting. Okay, so let's build this and make sure this all works before we check it in. Yeah, that's pretty neat. All right, so our starting location now is in the largest building. That's good. Looks like this building doesn't have any walls there. And then as we walk along here, we said to the east should be the starting engine. Yep, and 5 in. Okay, perfect. Look at that. It showed up exactly where we wanted it. Okay. So hopefully Clippy's happy with all of this now. Good. And git add source, git. It was just that. Oh, right, we changed that. Okay, git commit -m. Fix up the starting and location and the downstairs location. It's kind of weird to have the entrance to the dungeon right in the middle of the main thoroughfare, but we'll live with it for now. Okay, so that was making the town, and that's it for this chapter. All right, let's move on. What's the next chapter? Populating the starting town. Okay. In the previous chapter, we built the layout of our town. In this chapter, we'll populate it with NPCs and props. We'll introduce some new AI types to handle friendly or neutral NPCs, and begin placing merchants, townsfolk, and other residents to make our town come alive. We'll also begin placing furniture and items to make the place feel less barren. We're not making a real full-sized town, I think they meant to say here. That would be potentially hundreds of buildings, and the player would quickly grow bored of trying to find the exit. Instead, we'll have 12 buildings. Looking at our design document, 2 of them are important, the pub and the temple. That leaves 10 other locations aren't really relevant, but we've implied that they will include vendors. Brainstorming a few vendors, it would make sense to have a blacksmith, a clothier, and an alchemist. So we're down to 5 more locations to fill. Let's make 3 of them into regular homes with residents, 1 into your house, complete with a nagging mother, and 1 into an abandoned house with a rodent issue. Rodent problems are a staple of fantasy games, and it might make for a good tutorial when we get that far. You'll remember that we sorted our buildings by size and decided the largest is the pub. Let's extend that to tag each building. In town.rs, look at the build function and we'll expand the building sorter. First, let's make an enum of our building types. Okay. The pub, the temple, blacksmith, clothier, alchemist, player, house, hovel, abandoned, and unassigned. Yep, okay. And this is just going to get spread out when I save it. Okay. Next, we'll move our building sorter code into its own function as part of town builder. Okay, sort buildings. So we'll just put that down here. So I'm pausing because there's this type again here. It's a 4i32. So can we just make it a type? We don't have building anywhere, right? Is equal to okay, and then we should just be able to replace this with building, building, building. I'll delete this line here. See if that checks. It should check. Yeah, okay. So that's what we're going to use from now on, is that type. And it's going to return a vec of usize i32 and building tag tuple. Okay. Oh, so this is just the building sorting code, so we can just copy and paste that. Yeah, so it starts with this line here, and it's just all of this. Sort by. There, right? And then we're going to tag them after we do that. Okay. So I'll just put this here. And down here, all we'll do is just say building size is sort, self-sort, buildings. Right? Yeah. Oh, does this sort it in place? No, it returns this building size thing. Okay. So this should be a let. All right, so we'll just keep going like this. We did the sort, so now we're going to say building size 0.2 pub. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. There we go. And then temple. Oh, template. Temple. Blacksmith. Clothier. Alchemist. And player house. 4b in building size iter mut. Skip sip 6. Okay, so we've done the first 6. So the remaining 6 are going to be hovels. And then let last index building size len -1 building size last index .2 building tag abandoned. So the tiniest one is abandoned, and then we're going to return building size. All right, so this this is the code we had before with the added building tag entries. Once we've sorted by size, we assign the various building types, with the last one always being the abandoned house. This will ensure that we have all our building types and they're sorted in descending size order. In the build function, replace your sort code with the call to the function and called building factory, which we'll write in a moment. Yeah, okay, so we did this, except I forgot the ampersand on that. Like that. This is the starting position thing here, so let's just keep that for now. Self building factory, RNG, build data, buildings, and building size. Okay. And what is this building factory? Build data. We need the buildings. And then we have the building index, which is this other type that we should probably make a type. I32 building tag. Okay. And this is going to say for I and building in buildings, iter enumerate. So what is this going to do? Nothing. Oh, it's a skeletal factory. Okay, so we'll fill it in as we go. Okay. Okay, so what would you expect to find in a pub early in the morning when you awaken hungover and surprised to discover you've promised to save the world? A few ideas spring to mind. Other hungover patrons, possibly asleep. A shady as can be lost goods salesperson, a barkeep, probably wants you to go home, tables, chairs, and barrels. So we'll extend our factory function to have a match line to build a pub. Okay. So building tag pub, self-built pub. So instead of calling it a building factory, which I mistyped, oops. Building factory. It should be a populate buildings or something. All right. So this is going to be the pub building code. And then RNG is random number generator, and it doesn't return anything. Okay. And then what are we doing? We're going to place the player in the pub. Oh, okay. So that does this code here. Right? So we can pull this out and put it here. And instead of saying the pub, we just say building. Like that. So that's our starting position. And then we have let player IDX is build data map XY ID. Let PX and PY equal these things. Let's do it that way, and then we can just say X is PX and Y is PY, and that can all go on one line. And this becomes IDX of PX and PY. Okay, that's easier, rather than calculating it twice. Let mut place other items. Vec. I think we can just do this. We don't have to tell it's a vec of stir, because we're making a vec of stir. Bar keep. Shady sales man. Patron. How many patrons? 2 patrons. Patron keg. What else? A table. A chair. And another table and chair. Okay. Good. For y in building.1 to building.1 plus building.3. Okay, so we're going to convert the index. Why do we need the player index? Oh, it's here. Okay. We're checking to make sure we don't put anything on the player. That makes sense. If build data map tiles IDX is tile type wood floor and IDX is not equal to player IDX and RNG roll dice 1 to 3 is 1 and to place is empty. Alright, so that randomizes it. There's a 1 in 3 chance of actually placing the thing. Let entity tag equals to place of 0 to place remove 0. Huh. And then build data spawn list push IDX entity tag to string. So what is this doing? Let's type that. So this is going through every location in town or in this particular building, right? We're building the pub. We have the building location. We get the XY location converted to an index. We make sure that it's a wood floor. We're not on the player. To place is not empty, which means we still have a vector here. There's still things to place. And we get a 1 chance in 3. If so, then we get the entity tag, which is just a string. We remove the 0th element from the array. And then we push that onto our spawn list. So we'll tell the spawner to spawn these things. Now these things don't exist yet. So we're going to have to update our JSON data. So why don't we just pop? I don't know why we don't just pop. It's possible if the random number generator happens to hit 3s, a bunch of 3s in a row, that we don't actually place anything. That would be funny and very unlikely. This is also interesting that we're not looping until 2place is empty. We just keep looping, and even once 2place is empty, this 2place vector is empty, we'll keep looping. I guess we're not going for efficiency here. All right, so here's where we're going to add our barkeep. Oh, and we're going to create a new AI for it. Neat. Okay, so let's see if this checks. This should check, unless there's some typo somewhere, like that one. Yeah, buildings doesn't exist. Okay. Building index. What did I do wrong there? Oh, I mistyped building index. Like that. Okay, let's try that. Wow, still have errors. What is this error here? Oh, is it? I put an equal sign there. Why is it showing me here? 327. Yeah, this should be an equal sign. And this should be building factory. And then no field 2. Oh. This is in sort buildings, which is here. Oh, unassigned. Here, I forgot that one. All right, let's put that in. There we go. Yeah. So we're going to get a bunch of errors from that. And it doesn't like this because I forgot to put it here. Building tag. There we go. Okay, so that was it. All right, so we can't really run this yet because we won't be able to generate any of these guys, or we'll see those on the console anyway, saying we can't find barkeep or something like that. Let's find out. Let's just verify that. Let's refresh here. As soon as it's done, I need to get a faster machine. Okay, yeah. Don't know how to spawn barkeep or salesman or patron or whatever. Okay, so we're good. So if we go back here now, we're going to modify the JSON file in spawns. Mobs. Here's our mobs, and we're going to add a barkeep. And the barkeep's going to have an AI. So actually, let me copy this. This and hit paste there. I had an issue a couple of days ago with hitting paste inside. Let's move there, mobs, inside VI, and then I was stuck in some sort of a weird state in VI. I just did it. Oops. And it didn't break this time. That's good. Okay, so there we go. Right. So now to support the AI element, we need to open up the mob structs and edit mob to add this AI string. Okay, because we have now this bystander AI, and I guess the default AI is just going to be whatever. Oh, we also need to add AI melee to each other mob. Okay, we can do that. So let's put this here and then say, oh, needs a comma. Like that. So copy that, paste, and paste, and then add a comma, and add a comma. Okay, so now we're going to go into the mob structs and save that. And in mob, we'll add pub AI string. And then in our mob template, which is in where raw master, replace the line EB equals EB with monster. To EB is equal to match mob template AI as ref melee to be EB with monster, which we already have, or bystander is EB with bystander, and otherwise nothing. Okay. I refactored a little bit to avoid the repetition there. Bystander is a new component, so we'll have to add it into components, and then of course in main and save load system. Okay. Components. So where's monster? Let's keep all of those together. Pub struct bystander. Like that. We'll have to edit main to register it. Monster and bystander. And then our save load system. There's monster bystander. That's in save. And then we have to go to load and do the same thing. Okay. If you cargo run now, you should see a smiling barkeep. Really? Where are we rendering him? He's resplendent in purple from the JSON. Why purple? We're going to make vendors purple eventually. Okay. This should be an arrow. Oh, just a bubble. Thank you. I don't always see the... Oh. EB. I can't do a nothing, right? I have to assign EB to something, so I'll just return an EB. When I'm focused on the my main monitor here, I don't see the chat off of my other monitor. Sorry. Thank you for catching that, though. All right, so let's let this finish regenerating, and I'll hit refresh, and then we should see these guys, but not barkeep. Barkeep should be found in the console here. So let's see if that happens. No, of course not. All right. Load raws, unwrap failed, panic format. Let's see what the error is. That's not, there we go. All right, unable to parse JSON, trailing characters, line 292, column 5. Okay. (292) column 5. Oh, I left a comma there. Ouch. That blew up all of my code. Okay. So now we have to rebuild this, because the way this works right now is for the WASM file to read it, it has to be embedded in the WASM itself. So in order to, okay, yeah, so we were able to see a barkeep is gone from this now, so we should be able to see the barkeep in here. So what I was saying is the WASM needs to be rebuilt in order, if you make any changes to the JSON file. Whereas in the online version, or the native version here, we would not have to rebuild the code in order to run that. Begin new game. Just a Bubble says it's always the leftover commas with JSON. Yeah. Okay, so there's our barkeep. He's sort of just hanging out in the pub. This is the largest building in town, really? That's not true. This one's bigger. Huh. I think we have a bug in our sorting code. All right. But anyway, we can attack the barkeep. But, oh, and we can kill the barkeep. Bye-bye, barkeep. All right. So let's check this in as something we can do. Oh, I didn't even look at the tooltip. Let's look at the tooltip. Wonder if I should disable this town building code here again. I just straight up murdered that man. That's right. Barkeep. Okay, and this is player. And a scroll of magic mapping. So if we read that, let's just double check here this town. See, that one looks like the biggest building. It was the other one that just didn't look biggest. Okay. Git status. Git add raws and source. Git commit -m. We now have barkeep. Done. So let's find some more people we can kill. Simqui, thank you for the follow. Very cool. All right, so we're going to add Shady Salesman and Patron. Let's copy those. And I'm going to move these guys. Let's see here. We'll delete those. Look for mobs. We'll add them right here at the top. Do that. So those guys are also bystanders. Their glyph is, and Patron is a smiley face also. Shady Salesman is the H, I guess, for human. So if your cargo run now, the bar comes to life a bit more. Okay, should be able to do that. And then we'll add some props. Here we go. Refresh. Oh, right. I was going to turn that off. Show. Show map gen visual. I keep forgetting it's right there in lib. One of these days I'll remember. False. Okay, so that'll disable the starting building animation there. Okay, so now we have an H, which is the shady salesman, a couple of gray patrons, and then the purple barkeep. Perfect. Of course, they don't do anything because their AI hasn't been written yet, but we're getting there. So now we're going to add props. A keg, a table, and a chair. And these aren't... Oh, yeah, we do have a props section, don't we? Yeah, right here, props. So let's add to the props. Paste. Hopefully that doesn't break anything. Oops. Okay, so let's add a comma in the middle here. Okay, so that's lined up. That's lined up. That's lined up. Okay. Can't tell what character that is. The table looks like a T, a chair looks like a little L, but this keg looks like... I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Okay. So those are those things. And now once we run this, let's generate the WASM, and then... Oh, that's interesting. The table and chair don't show up anymore here. Or maybe it didn't try to build them because the room was so small. We just ran out of random numbers. Okay. All right, so now we got, and they're all crowded around the top. Oh, I see. It's like a little clover leaf or something. Oop, I just hit the patron. Run away, run away. Okay, so yeah, see, this building is definitely bigger than this one. Maybe it's an optical illusion, I don't know. But it's, yeah, it's the same height and it's wider. So there must be something wrong with the sorting code. But anyway, we've got tables, we've got chairs. Chairs are nowhere near the tables. That's okay. Maybe these are standing tables. And then, oh, we can point at them. Table, table, chair, chair. Keg. Okay, very good. That's not amazing, but it already feels more alive. And now we're going to make the temple. Okay, so we're done with the... Git commit -m, finished up the pub for now. Just a bubble says standing tables and wall facing chairs sounds good to me. Yeah, maybe they're just hanging. Maybe there's a TV over here, a steampunk TV. Okay, making the temple. Random building spawn. Temple will be similar to the pub in terms of spawning code. So similar, in fact, that we're going to break out the part of the build pub function that spawns entities and make a generic function out of it. So here's the new function. All right, so that's that loop that I was commenting on before. So town. This guy here. So we're going to just pass in a vector of things to place and the player's index, and we'll just use that. Okay. So this all comes out into its own function, and it's going to be called random building spawn. And then the random number generator. And what we're going to place is effective stir. And then the player IDX is usize. It does not return anything, and it just does this. And down here, we want to call it self random building spawn, building build data. Instead of mutating this, we could just, run an index across it, and then that way we don't have to remove things. But that's all right. So this should still check. Let's see what I broke. Okay, that works. So with that in place, let's think about what you might find in a temple: priests, parishioners, chairs, and candles. So we're going to extend our factory to include temples. All right, so where was our factory again? It was right here. And say temple. Temple. And this should be temple. And then we have a build temple. So all we do is place the items. Okay, so it's going to be very similar to... Oh, and then we can pass in 0 for the player index because the player is not going to be in the temple. That simplifies the code a little bit. Okay, so build temple. Okay, and then place the items. So we have priest, parishioner, a chair, a chair, a chair, a chair, a chair, a candle, candle. Okay. Chair we already have, and candle we have to invent as a prop. And then self, random, just copy and paste this line and change this to 0. Okay, so that checks, and now we have to go and add these guys. So let's try copying that. And these are going to be under mobs. Let's put them at the end here. Oops. We want to paste. No comma here. Oops. There we go. And then this needs a comma there. Okay. So there's our priest and our parishioner. They're also smiley faces. And then we'll need to add this candle as a prop. Let's add that here. With a comma there. Huh. So it's an A with an umlaut on it is our candle. Okay. If you cargo run now, you can run around and find a temple. Let's go find a temple. All right, refresh. No errors came out. That's good. That means it was able to find everything. Uh-oh. There's a patron blocking the door. Maybe we can sneak around him diagonally. There we go. Okay, so let's find the temple. Which one is the temple? Not that one? No, that's too small. Nope. Nope. Nobody there. Oops. Now these are all empty buildings. This one's pretty big. Maybe this one's the temple. Nope. Where's the temple? There's no temple? Maybe it's this one. Nope. Wow, okay. Let me go grab the scroll of magic mapping and we can see what haven't we looked at yet. It's hard to tell because the roads now go into the... I think I've explored every... Oh no, not this one. I missed this. There it is. It's the last place you look. Alright, so we got candles. We got parishioners and we've got the priest. Okay. I can walk on the props and I can kill the priest. Nice. All right. So now we're going to build the other building. So it's basically the same exact thing. It's just a bunch of repetitive code. Okay, so we can do a bunch of copy pasting. Let's check in the temple. Temple. Okay, that's all we'll call it. Town. All right. So we have build temple. We're going to copy this whole thing. Oops, not the whole thing. There we go. So we need smith, clothier, alchemist, my house, and hovel. Smith, clothier, alchemist, my house, and hovel. So this is the smith. And the smith is going to have a blacksmith, an anvil, a water trough, and a weapon rack. Anvil, water trough, a weapon rack, and an armor stand. Okay, and the rest is the same. And then clothier is going to be cabinet, table, a loom, and a hide rack. So that's the clothier. And then we have an alchemist. A dead thing. Okay. A chair and a table. Okay. That's the alchemist. And then we're going to have my house and a hovel. What's going to be there is a mom, a bed, cabinet, a chair, and a table. And then finally we have the hovel, which is going to have a peasant, a bed, a chair, and a table. Okay. I think that's all. And now all we need to do is add them to the, oops. Add them to this spawn list here, which is the factory. Right here. So, blacksmith, clothier, alchemist, player house, and hovel. And then for build, temple. Like this, so we're going to look for blacksmith. Oh, they just called it smith. Okay. Alchemist. As long as we're consistent, it's okay. My house, and then hovel, and I gotta fix this typo. Okay. Does this check? Or did I make 100 errors? Oh, did I call it Smith too? Yeah, I did. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now we're building everything. Of course, we have all of the mobs and props we got to add. I'm just going to take a little bit of editing. I need a JSON formatter. Let's put them at the end here. Paste. And put a comma here. I don't want to have to reformat all that, but but I want to. Okay, and then the props over here. Let's put these at the end as well. Oh, we can do this and then paste. Okay, so there is a JSON PP. From format to format. What if I do this? Does it just dump the standard out? I don't know what it's doing. Maybe I do this. Oh, look at that. We got Unicode stuff in here. I wonder if that's going to break something. If I do this, and what'll happen? So I'll just call it temp. Oh, it reordered things. Yeah, and it changed the it's not working right. It's not taking the I was hoping just to be able to reformat it using that. But you can see that the smiley face gets crunched by that JSON. Does this help? JSON eval. There's no UTF-8 option here. This was written 12 years ago. Interesting. Okay. I think you can add JSON opt UTF-8. Okay. Let's try it. Okay. Here's the blacksmith. Oh yeah, and the glyph gets left alone. Okay, so that's good. I do want it to be pretty printed though. That's the whole point of doing the pretty print. What other JSON ops are there? Options to JSON. There we go. ASCII, Latin. There's UTF-8. Pretty. So maybe I have to do both. Oh, you can put a comma. Okay, you can put a comma. The whole reason for this underscore PP thing here is for pretty. Why wouldn't it default to that? Okay, so let's see if that worked. And blacksmith, and we got that. Okay, so I think we're good. I think we're good. So if I say move temp to raws spawners, and this should now be nicely formatted, and I'm just scanning through it now to see if there's any red. I don't see any red. So I think we did it. I think we did it, although, you know, like I said, the fields got reordered, but that's fine. I don't care, as long as it works. Let's see if it builds and runs. Just-a-Bubble says, yeah, you got it. Yay. Thank you for your help, Just-a-Bubble. I almost starved to death looking for the temple. It's funny. Okay, so let's refresh. All right, so things are still spawning. They still have their names: table, keg, patron, shady salesman, barkeep. We should still be, maybe that one's a temple up there because it's pretty big. Let's go take a look. It is. And now this is 8, which for a bed. Oh! Peasant. Oh, this must be a hovel. Huh. Maybe this is a temple? Yeah, I think that room sorting code is just broken. What's this? It's a bed. What's this guy? A peasant. Yeah, so that must be another hovel. That's a very big hovel. That's a blacksmith. There's the armor stand. There's a water trough, a weapon rack, and an anvil. Neat. The reveal thing should reveal indoors too. It seems inconvenient. It is. This is just a scroll of magic mapping. So all it's revealing is what's in the map tiles, not any entities or mobs or props, right? So it's not going to reveal those. There will be a different scroll of, you know, telekinesis or whatever to sense mobs or whatever. And it would be nice just to put in a developer hack to just reveal everything. But when you step away from things, right, you step away and they disappear, you can't see them anymore. That's all due to the viewshed code we stuck in there a long time ago. Scroll of God mode. Yeah, that would be nice for developing, right? The thing is sometimes, you know, you end up with it as a crutch and then you forget that players don't see that, and so you're testing it with God mode all the time, and then your game's broken and you don't know. So what's this? If you cargo run now, you can run around and find largely populated rooms. Player hits mom for 4 HP. Player hits alchemist for 4 HP. You're saying hitting the barkeep was messed up. There's somebody hitting their mom. That's messed up too. Hopefully you can spot the bug. The player beat his her mom and the alchemist. We don't really want to encourage that type of behavior, so in the next segment, we'll work on some neutral AI and player movement with NPCs. Okay. Let's do that. Let's check this in first. And then maybe we can finish up this chapter before I have to go. And Just a Bubble says, yeah, but he didn't kill them. That's true. Oh, all these don't need refs. Interesting. Okay, at least they're all in one location in this scene. None of these need reps. How come it didn't complain before? Oh, maybe the pub does? Let's take it out and see what happens. It's already a ref, right? Yeah, so we're good. It's all good. Hi, Anthony. How are you? And thank you, Just a Bubble, for sharing that. I put it in the stream description also, but I know on mobile that doesn't always show up well. So Clippy's happy. I think we're all happy. Get status. Get add raws. And source. Get commit. Filled in the rest of town. Good. All right, so we have neutral AI movement. There are two issues present with our current bystander handling. Bystanders just stand there like lumps, and there's no way to get around them without slaughtering them. I'd like to think our hero won't start his or her adventure by murdering their mom, so let's rectify that situation. Currently, when you bump into a tile containing anything with combat stats, you launch an attack. This is provided in player RS, the try to move player function. We insert a wants to melee component on the player entity. Is that the player entity or the target? No, the target is this guy. Yeah. So we need to extend this to not only attack, but swap places. This should be not just attack. How would we word this correctly? Because we don't want to attack and swap places, but we won't need to extend this to allow swapping places with the NPC when we bump into them. This way they can't block your movement, but you also can't murder your mother. So first we need to gain access to the bystanders component and make a vector in which we will store our intent to move NPCs. We can't just access them in loop. The borrow check will throw a fit, unfortunately. Okay, so this is going to be in our try move player function, which we haven't looked at in a very long time. But here it is. So we're going to grab the bystanders. So we'll let you murder bystanders? That's no fun. Well, maybe we'll add an enhancement later on which says, you know, go to evil mode or something. And then we're going to create a swap entities. going to be a vector of entity I32 and I32. Like that. So in swap entities, we're going to store the entity to move and their XY destination coordinates. Now we adjust our main loop to check to see if a target is a bystander, add them to the swap list, and move anyway if they are. We also make attacking conditional upon them not being a bystander. It's our main loop. They mean in here? I think they mean in here. I mean, this is not really a loop, right? This is getting every entity that is a player, that has a position and a view set. There's only one of those, so we're not really... I'm confused. I'm just making sure this is the correct location to put this stuff. I do see this here. Let target is combat stats against potential target. That's here. And here's the wants to melee insert. And then this does a door thing. Okay. I think all we need to do is in here. Let bystander. I think this is what they're talking about. If bystander is some, else we're going to do this and this, right? And if this doesn't return, then we'll drop down to the door code. Okay. So note that we want to move the bystander. Swap entities, push. And then we're going to move the player. And then pos y is just going to be the height -1 with pos y and delta y. You moved, insert. Okay, and then view shed dirty is true. So there's one resource in our ECS called point, and it's the location of the player. And that's how the player moves around, is by updating that one resource. You can see that we do that down here also when we move the player. Okay, so finally at the very end of the function we iterate through swap entities and apply the movement. Okay, so very end of the function is down here after map blocked, and then we'll just say for m in swap iter. Why don't we just do that up here? If let sum, like that, m.1, and there pos y is m.2. Oh, right, because m.0 is the entity. Okay, so does this check? It does not. What did I mess up? View shed, dirty. No more items, okay. So here's positions. So there must be another place. These are the positions. Oh, The error is it's a mutable, so we need to make this a write storage. It didn't say that. Cannot borrow it more than once. Oh! Huh. Okay. Wait a minute. So how was that if I... Oh, I did it in the wrong spot. Okay. Okay. I was in the wrong location. We already have a mutable positions. Yes. Here's mutable positions. Here's mutable positions. And this should be pause. But this is saying positions get mute this way. Oh, so maybe this comes out. Maybe this is in the loop and I need to move it out of the loop. Oh, okay. Let's see if that does the trick. Yeah, okay. We do have a couple of warnings. There's probably something I'm setting I'm not supposed to set, or I don't know. So let's see what the warnings are and build the WASM at the same time. Saying that bystanders does not have to be mutable, and it doesn't. I don't know why I put that in there. Okay, but that doesn't change the WASM, so we can just refresh here, and now we can see if we can swap locations. Oh, look at that. Now we can't. What about with the barkeep? Yep. And what about the shady salesman? Yep. Okay, so now we can't attack them anymore. There's a table right in front of the door. That's kind of annoying. Okay. Very good, and we can go down a level, and now we're in the dungeon. Although this says depth 0, so I think there's a bug here. Okay. Yeah, if I hit refresh, I think, what does it say for depth? Yeah, it says depth 1. So it shouldn't go to depth 0 when we go down a level. So that's a bug we'll have to look at tomorrow. No, now it says depth 2. And we ended up right next to an orc. And we can't go back up. That's right, we don't have an upstairs yet. We haven't done that part. All right, so I think that wraps up. Oh no, abandoned house. Dang. All right, let's do abandoned house. Lastly, for this chapter, we'll need to populate the abandoned house. We decided it was going to contain a massive rodent problem, since rodents of unusual size are a significant problem for low-level adventurers. I don't know if anybody here has seen Princess Bride, but that's a Princess Bride reference. Classic film. We'll add another match line to our building factory matcher. Town. There it is. Build Smith. There. Okay, so now we'll just say building tag abandoned house. I'm just going to say house because it's going to get too long. Like that. And now we'll create a build house. So this is different, right? Instead of having a vector of things to spawn like in all of these guys, we're actually going to loop over this thing and generate 1,000,000 rats. It's going to fill half the tiles with rats. Okay. Okay, for y in building.1 to building.1 plus building.3. And if you thought the music was annoying, I actually need the music to listen to keep myself occupied, but now we have a train going by outside. if we're hitting a floor, and IDX is not equal to 0, interesting. Just a bubble says that's a lot of rats. That is. RNG, roll, dice, 1, 2, 1. So half the time we're going to say build data, spawn, list, push, IDX, and rat. And we're going to have to add a rat to our spawns.json file. Under mobs. So let's put it right here at the top. Paste. Why is that shifted over? Oh, the JSON formatter didn't format it exactly on the 4-character boundary, did they? Yeah, this is 7 over. Okay. Oh well. Something I'll live with. So the rat is going to be red. I see. It's going to be our character. And let's go find an abandoned house now. Oops. Cargo check. Not equal to 0, like that is better. Still having it. Did I typo it? Oh, just abandoned. Okay. Let's see if that fixes it, or if I misspelled abandoned. Okay. Was that me? That? Oh yeah, it's just abandoned. Okay. That was me. I'll leave the house on there. Okay, we're all good. So let's generate the WASM and see if we can go find that abandoned house. It should be the smallest one on the map, so... But again, our building sorter code isn't the greatest. Refresh, begin, map it out. So which one's the smallest? This guy? Let's go see if they have a rat problem down here. Nope. Let's see if this has a rat problem. Ah, there we go. That's the rat problem. But they're not chasing me. I can kill the rats off pretty easily. All right, cool. So that worked. Let's check in with Clippy. I think that might be the last thing on this chapter. Wrap up. Yeah. Okay. So we're good. So we finished that other chapter, previous chapter, and we did a chapter and a half today. Finished making the town, and then we populated the town. And then what we're going to do tomorrow is living bystanders. Dividing vendors from bystanders. So that's what we're going to do. Git diff. What did we do? We added, they added the abandoned house. Git add source and raws. Git commit -m filled the abandoned house with rats. All right, let's push that up. It should be up here now. And we can be pretty satisfied with our progress for today. Very good. Okay, thanks everyone for hanging out with me. Let's go take a quick Twitch search on, oh, of course, Togglebit. Let us go to Togglebit and see how he's doing. Pull him up in my browser here before I go. He's been streaming for an hour and a half. He usually streams for a few hours, so. Let me pause my music so I can actually hear him. Yep. All right. So yeah, thanks again everyone for hanging out with me, and I will see you tomorrow with the next chapter, which is called Bringing NPCs to Life. And let's figure out how to do this raid, and we'll go raid them. All right. Thanks again, and take care.